Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Rex, and this is my dungeoneering guide. The basics. Just the basics. This isn't an advanced dungeoneering guide, and it's pretty much if you haven't started it yet and you were confused about how to, this would be the kind of guide that you want to watch. So what's covered in this guide is dungeoneering, how it works, etc., how to start at low levels, reasons to train, and the terms that you should know when you start dungeoneering. If you're not sure about how to get there, you should start at Lumbridge, run south, or go to Alcarid and run south to the ship, and then take the ship to Daemonheim. After you get to Daemonheim, just run to the bank. If that was confusing at all, you can follow my path right here. But this is the only time that you're going to have to do that, because after this you'll be able to get a unlimited teleport to this area. Okay, so now that you have your Ring of Kinship, what you want to do is equip it, form a party, and this is what you have to do. Click on the ladder right here by the side of the building, and then once you do that, you get this option to choose which floor you want to do. The higher your level, the better floor you can do, and so on. Starting out, you'll probably only be able to access, well, you will only be able to access floor 1, which is the frozen floors. So, click that. Once you do that, make sure to click confirm, and then after that, you have to choose your level of difficulty. 6 will include all of the skills shown, and you will get a no experience penalty. 5 reduces some experience that you're going to gain. 4 reduces more, all the way down to 1, which is just combat. So I recommend only doing 6 for the time being on a small. Once you go up in dungeoneering levels, you should start using larges, and I'll explain that later. So this is the room that everyone starts out in. It's the most helpful room, as you get all your supplies off the table here that you start out with, and there is a smuggler in the middle that you can trade, and he'll have a variety of stuff to buy. Also, what you can notice in my inventory is stuff that I have bound throughout the game. Anything with a B onto it will mean for bind. You start collecting stuff as soon as you start, and then the higher tier that it is, the more likely you should bind it. So each dungeon changes with a obstacle in the middle of the room, and then a door leading onto the next room that you want to get to. So in the middle there could be a puzzle. There could be a puzzle that you have to complete. There could be monsters that you have to fight, or there could be a skill that you have to use. So to start off, I want to mention some things. A group gatestone is the teleport in the starting room, the home teleport room. It's unlimited teleports to the leader of the group. A guardian door, you have to kill all the monsters in the room to actually open this door. A skill door requires a skill to be used in order to be opened. This one in particular is a rune door, and you have to imbue energy to open it. Key door, a key is required, and you can find keys throughout the dungeon. So if you're running through, you're going to pick up a key off the ground, and then you can use this for the door. So here's just videos of me dungeoneering. As you can see, I'm running through. I'm not really worrying about the monsters because it's not a big deal, but I did make sure to pick up the key because I needed it for the next room that I'm going to show you. And this is pretty much how you dungeoneer. So I have a key. Now I can open up this door. I can open that, and then I can go in here, pick another one, and it's just pretty much it's a maze. and then it's all co-independent on itself. What you do if you're at a tier or a complexity 6 is you can also decide to skill in the rooms if you want to, which is a good thing for skillers, you know. And this is actually really helpful because if you ever get the opportunity to be on a team and you don't want to kill monsters like I do, it could be really helpful just to have a high level skiller in there. And as you notice, I just ran into a dead end, so I turn around, grab some food off the ground that I just killed that one person for, and then continue on with my trek. So I'm going to just let the video run with completion for the dungeon, and then I'm going to now explain how to train dungeoneering at low levels. So at low levels, it's almost impossible for you to get a team unless it's with friends, and if you are lucky enough to get some friends to come with you, that's fantastic. But what you want to do probably is just start off with a complexity 6 small dungeon, which takes probably 5 minutes to complete or less, and then just continue doing that. To gain the most experience, I don't recommend dying. I wasn't really worried about it in this clip because I just wasn't really worried about it. But as you'll notice, the boss, there's the monster that I'm killing right now is the boss of the floor, and that's a really important thing because this is how you complete the dungeon itself. So while you're training by yourself, which I recommend actually for levels 1 to 20 or so, before you can go to get a team that's worthwhile, I recommend doing that. And then you just travel throughout the dungeon, find the boss, and then kill the boss, and then open up any extra rooms that you can find. Dungeoneering experience gained is based on a couple of things. First off, if you notice at the top left hand corner, there's the floor, which is first variety of experience. Then right next to that is the prestige number, which is the highest floor that I've gotten to or completed in a row. And then right next to that is the average, which you just add up and divide by 2. And then under that, you can see that the dungeon size also affects it with a modifier after that. Bonus rooms also affect it with a modifier. It just adds percentages to your experience and then calculates that. The deaths subtracts experiences. Guide mode also subtracts it, and then the total will be right under that. So from levels 1 to 30 or 40, the best training method is to actually do small, complex level 6 dungeons by yourself. For lower levels, it'll be extremely boring, and the only reason why I say train it by yourself is because it's almost impossible to find a team for a large dungeon on like such a small floor. But if you have friends that want to train it with you, I would highly suggest finding like similar level friends and then training on large dungeons. Complexity 6 large is for the highest floor that you can do. Like say if I can do floors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I would train on larges for 6 and then complex level 6 smalls for the previous 5. So every time that you have completed a set of floors, all the set of floors that you can do, make sure to reset your dungeoneering progress, as it will give you a higher prestige, and this will actually even out to more EXP as you average it throughout your dungeoneering trip. Also, once you get more comfortable with this, you should only be doing larges for the main training method, so you should find a 5-person team and then do complexity level 1 smalls and make it as easy as possible. That way you can get through all of the bad floors that you don't want to do larges for, because after a while you'll realize that larges are going to be your main source of experience throughout the dungeoneering process. But if you're wondering why train dungeoneering, here are just some incentives that Jagex gives you. Seeing as dungeoneering has nothing to do with anything actually in game, they make all the rewards that you can get from leveling up to a variety of things that are useful everywhere else. There's weapons. The best weapons in the game are available here. There's an anti-poison totem that makes it so that you never get poisoned, and there's bags that can store coal and gems and stuff like that. Okay, so here are a list of expressions that we use while training dungeoneering, and I just thought I'd throw these out here. I highly suggest reading them all, because when you're in a random group that you probably found off of World 117 or World 148, either one, it's always really good to know these. If someone's saying F blah blah blah, you should probably trade them if you want to do that floor. That is just examples. Group or GGS, group Gatestone, you should probably teleport to the group Gatestone right then. The GD, Guardian Door, it's someone has found a Guardian Door and you should probably tele and try to kill it, or kill everything in there. Home teleport, HT, you just teleport home because there's nothing left to do in that area of the dungeon. So you guys, I hope you realize that dungeoneering is a very complex skill to make a 1 to 99 guide, and that's the only reason why I didn't make a boom 1 to 99 guide. So depending on how this does, I might make a advanced dungeoneering guide, but seeing as you really get the hang of dungeoneering after like 40 levels, it's kind of pointless. But anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and then click the screen for my last video.